The Will You Grow Show goes live Sundays 9 to 10 a.m. Eastern. To receive notifications, click the subscribe button beneath this video, or visit YouTube's Will You Grow channel to see more shows and videos. And now, here's Will You founder Angelique Meadow with this week's Will You Grow Show.
Welcome to the Will You Grow Show. How are you? I'm Angelique, founder of Will You and WillYouGrow.com, an inspirational multimedia company that provides education and mentoring to nurture empowerment and joy. Our weekly Grow Show begins by tackling touchy subjects that'll tickle your tempestuous thoughts, fan your eternal flame, and salve your soul with hope. Halfway through, we'll take a 60-second look at what clients have to say, and then we'll go hands-on to talk fun tips and tools for you to begin implementing today's lesson in your life. Here in the studio with me today are our audio aficionado, Ben, and our video Santa, Neil. They do the great work of making this show happen and giving us lively commentary. And today's show topic is pretend love or true love? What are you in and how can you stay true to you? This episode is sponsored by Life and Nature, who keep our hearts beating and our world turning, and by the Carrie Campbell Foundation, which supports creative video content that increases love among all people. Gotta love that. We say thank you to the Carrie Campbell Foundation and all of our sponsors. So, are you in pretend love? The story of one of my sweet and sometimes sinister young mentees might help you decide for yourself. A while back, she called me, bursting with joy to share her healthiest relationship ever. After 10 years of hearing her stories and mentoring her through fear and disempowerment, it was so good to hear her happy tone. She said that she had been dating a guy for a while and went on to exclaim, "We tell each other everything now. We've gotten past that big hurdle, you know, the one everybody goes through when we don't tell the other person who we really are because we're afraid that they'll leave and we don't want it to end." Don't you just love her honest description? So what about you? Have you ever pretended to be something that you weren't, hoping that you could get people to stay?
Well, Ben, you don't want to take this one? Yes. I was in a relationship long time ago. I feel like an old man. Long time ago. Lived with a girl. Lied to my mother about it. That's a whole other topic for a different show. Have you ever lied to your parents and regretted it later? Yes. Lived with this girl for a year, and evidently she was pretending to love me because I thought I loved her, when in actuality, no. I believe she was trying to find somebody to latch onto so that she didn't have to move back to her home state where she was from. So that happened. We got an apartment together, lived together for about a year. She broke up with me because evidently she did not love me and did not feel the same way. But the worst part was that we had to continue to live together because I couldn't afford a place on my own. So that took another year. And that's how I lost all of my hair.
It's all on that couch.
It's all still, yes, on the, I was very gentlemanly. I said, you take the bedroom. I'll sleep here on the sofa, which I did for an entire year. Might be why my back hurts still to this day. But, yes, she obviously pretended to be something she wasn't, and I fell for it. And took me a year to find a place of my own that I could start over. And I did. Met my wife not too long after that. And the rest is history.
Neil, did you miss that couch?
Did I miss the couch? No. When I moved out, I left her the couch. I took everything else, but I left her the couch.
Probably still smelled like you two.
It did. Still had my essence.
Oh, the double meaning of lying around. So, as we think about what Neil had to share, as well as what the mentee shared, I thought about what she had said. You know, later that evening after meeting with her, I started thinking about, does everybody go through this hiding, lying, and pretending period in a relationship? And how did this ever seem like a good idea? After many years of coaching people to be empowered, my experience has been that we choose to pretend when we feel afraid and think that we are not enough. The less proud of ourselves we are, the more we think we need to pretend in order to be accepted. Instead of admitting to someone that we are afraid, we lie. So let's take a quick look at the behind the scenes of how the pretend game rolls. For example, let's say we really, really, really like someone. Okay, I feel like a teenager now. And let's say we decide not to tell them who we are because we decide that who we are isn't good enough. So we lie and say we're more, we're something else. Or maybe we don't lie exactly. Maybe we just don't say who we really are, and instead, we say whatever we think the other person wants to hear. It might sound something like this. I love you so much. I want to raise a garden with you, fold your underwear, dance under the stars naked, and cook spaghetti for you at midnight. I want to ride horses with you and lick ice cream from your bottom lip. But not at the same time. And we can do whatever we want every day because I own a bank. Now let's just say that the person that we're telling this to buys into our baloney, hook, line, and sinker, and we bag the big buck. If the reality of who we are is the opposite of what we pretended, the buck is in for a big surprise. If we actually love our ex, hate getting our hands dirty, don't do laundry, are too shy to be naked anywhere but in the shower and maybe there too, can't cook for crapola and go to bed at 9 every night, that big buck's antlers are going to become weapons of mass destruction. And who can blame him? As we are not who we presented ourselves to be. He didn't agree to be in a relationship with us as we are. He agreed to be in a relationship with our pretend self. Pretty cheesy of us to think that that would work. By the way, for those of us who like language, the word cheesy in this context means blatantly inauthentic. The big fat farce here is that we justify our behavior by thinking we'll keep them by pretending. As we get more comfortable in a relationship and begin sharing more, our deepest thoughts and feelings may not be anything like or opposite of what we pretended to be. When this happens, the person that we say we love has every right to feel manipulated, hurt, afraid, and angry, which usually drives them to leave. Wasn't that exactly what we said we were trying to avoid? And doesn't this sound exciting for everyone? Ah, yes, most of us have been on that wild ride at one time or another. It's called the roller coaster of lies and drama. Yippee! If we continue on that ride, it renders us powerless. Whenever we pretend about who we are at any level, we undermine our power. We undermine our power by pretending to be someone bigger than we are. We assume that we are unworthy of love as we are. And when we believe that lie, we will feel an empty hole in our heart. And after our loved one leaves us in search of someone who really is who we were pretending to be, and we shut life and God out because we're hurt and angry, the only thing we may have left to turn to for some solace is some form of mildly entertaining punishment like addiction, which may temporarily provoke us more than the pain we feel from the loss of our partner. Deep down, what we really want is to be real and be loved. In the deepest part of who we are, we want to truly know and love ourselves, so much so that we can proudly speak our truth of who we are, what we want, and what we believe. What we really want is to not lose our true self. We want to accept, honor, and respect ourselves, whether we're in a relationship or out of a relationship. It's this connection with ourself that we really want and need and desire. It's this connection that requires truth. Living in an empowered way means knowing and walking in the confidence of who we are. It means not pretending, and this takes courage. As Maya Angelou said, courage is the most important virtue, because without courage, we can't practice any other virtue consistently. We must be courageous to be truthful about who we are, keeping a real connection with ourselves and our partner. So instead of freaking out about being truthful, we can just fess up. Let's not be the cowardly lion. Why let our truth scare us? As the old passage goes, the truth will set us free. If you're thinking about breaking free of the pretend game, or you're bored with the passé life of pretending, here are 2 ways to fess up. First, the easiest way. The easiest way to start telling the truth is to start telling the truth to strangers. This limits our consequences. So, if a stranger decides that they don't like the real and true us, it may seem easier to lose them. For example, let's say we're going on a blind date. The person sitting across the table from us says, "Tell me about yourself." We share a robust list of our most stellar qualities. In the past, we may have intentionally omitted that we're also maybe a not-so-wealthy shopaholic, for example. Now let's see this through. In the spirit of turning a new leaf and being honest, we know that we can only hide those 25 boxes of had-to-have-it clearance Christmas ornaments for so long. If the date goes well, the person we're dating is going to find out sooner or later. So why not make it sooner? If they don't like us, we can get it over with quickly, like pulling a tooth. If we admit our shopaholic tendencies within the first 3 meetings, our date can make up their own mind about whether they want us. Either way, we win. And if they decide that they don't want us after 3 dates, well, that's way easier than after 3 months or whenever they find out. If they don't leave, we know they're satisfied with us as we are, and we won't feel like a shophead for lying, hiding, or pretending. Our self-worth will increase, and we'll feel better about ourselves and our relationship. The longer we tell our truth and surround ourselves with people who like us for who we are, we may not have the need for the shopping addiction anymore. We have nothing to lose but people who don't really want us anyway. The second way is harder. Long-term pretending is the most challenging to confess. I've mentored many people who were married, had children, and were having affairs for years. Some were having affairs with the opposite sex, others affairs with the same sex. Either way, the burden they carried of lying, hiding, and pretending to their spouse and extended families also led them to believe that addictions would help them cope. Many of them drank a lot. Some decided to have random meet-up sexual encounters to cope. Others turned to porn, drugs, and workaholism, just trying to feel accepted and okay for a little while. It can be much more difficult to tell someone our truth when we have been lying and pretending for a long time. We start to feel responsible to continue to lie to them on the mistaken premise that lying to them saves them from being hurt. The funny thing is that if we're not the kind of person that they needed and wanted, we've already hurt them just by being who we are and making the choices that we have made. Fessing up doesn't hurt them. It hurts us. It hurts to admit that we've been lying. It hurts to admit that we have hurt people that we say that we love. And it hurts to receive their anger and consequences, even if they may be warranted. Pretending can be an immense pressure on us. Keeping up the lies can be exhausting and at best cost us a lot of precious time, energy, and effort to remember them and recite them as needed. If you've had it with the pressures of pretending and are ready to take a step towards living your truth, you might consider applying one of these 3 tips. 1, find at least 10 minutes, whether in the privacy of your car, the park, the bathroom, or at a counselor's office, to say your truth out loud. It might begin like this. We might say, I've been lying to someone that I love. Then we can say what we've lied about. The next step is important. We need to actually feel the truth, because by staying with that truth and feeling how it feels without running to our lover, drink, drug, or distraction, we begin the process of the experience of the feelings. And feelings are like the weather. They don't last forever, but they need to be felt for us to begin shifting our perspective. So the second way, know that we are strong enough to change our choices when we're ready. If we decided to lie, we can decide to tell the truth. We need not let ourselves be bullied by the fear of what will happen. And the third way, if we're ready for bold action, another option is to make a clean sweep. Some people who were involved in long-term pretending chose to get groups of affected people together. People were invited to gather in a safe place with a safe person, counselor, or guide. The truth is then admitted to everyone at once. It's like a self-imposed intervention. Although the anticipation of this event can be nerve-wracking, it can also be cathartic and freeing. And now, we'll take a break to see what clients have to say. When we come back, we'll talk tips and tools from Mother Nature to help us begin implementing more true love in our life.
The Will You Grow Show will now take 60 seconds to check in with you. If you're wondering how to apply a Grow Show topic to your life, here's what clients say about mentoring with Angelique.
She's been really instrumental in my being able to view my life in a more positive light.
Angelique is sort of this incredible role model. One of the very most generous, loving people I think we've ever met.
I'm so happy she's, alive and on the planet and happens to live in my city, and I happen to meet her. She doesn't mince words. She's going to say what she feels, and for me it's just very special to have somebody around that is that honest.
If you're asking who she is to me, she is that person that brings willpower. She's that person that's always positive in your life.
This is your girl. Self-care is not selfish. If you really want to dig deep and stop living on the surface, then schedule a conversation with Angelique.
And now, back to the Will You Grow Show with Will You founder, Angelique Meadow.
And now, it's Metaphysical Tool time. We'll start with a couple of earth elements and a very special animal. Hanksite. Hanksite is our first crystal. A picture of it is here. This is Hanksite. Hanksite is an earth element that works with all chakras to purify, dissolve blockages, and cleanse us of toxic energies. It is called the stone of truth. It helps to get the essence of all issues and keeps one's awareness aligned with reality. If one has a tendency to much fantasy, or if one's a bit gullible, Hanksite can be a useful ally. In more advanced use, and especially in conjunction with powerful stones such as moldavite, Libyan gold tektite, and heliodor, Hanksite can assist one in taking strong action on behalf of truth. When one meets untruth and injustice in the outer world, there is sometimes a tendency toward discouragement. Hanksite, in conjunction with the aforementioned stones, can help one become a persistent champion of the truth, regardless of whatever blockages are set in one's path. In these times of transformation, many such champions are needed. Next is the element of sunstone, which I am wearing today. Sunstone promotes its wearer's self-healing powers. It stimulates the nervous system and ensures the harmonious function of all organs. It is very helpful in cases of exhaustion caused by lack of sleep. So, if those little white lies are keeping you up at night, sunstone can help. It has an invigorating effect on the heart, back, eyes, and kidneys, and is also very effective in cases of poor blood circulation. It gives self-confidence and helps its wearer to discover his own nature and live according to its truth. It helps him to have a positive attitude towards his own life and to use his own strengths while allowing his sunny side to come to the fore. It lifts depression and helps him free himself from feelings of discrimination and failure, as well as images of an evil world. Sunstone increases the sense of self-esteem and self-confidence. And finally, our spirit animal for today is the coyote. People who meditate on coyotes can learn to be themselves without having to put on airs and masks. They also realize that by allowing themselves to be vulnerable, they will gain the most growth in their life. And just for fun, here's a picture of me with a coyote. The coyote, like the fox, plays as it hunts for its food, so don't take all this too seriously. It's time to laugh at our old pretend self and let loose and get on with it. Because the way to find love, is first to be true. If you're a fan of the movie Princess Bride, you get that reference. And if not, give the movie a look-see. It's sure to make the whole family laugh while teaching us a little bit about love and true love along the way. So, what say ye? Please share your thoughts and feelings about today's topic in the comments section so we may grow in courage and willpower together. Thank you so much for watching. It means the world to us. If you liked today's video, we'd be honored if you'd hit that subscribe button to receive weekly updates. Hit the like button to let us know that you like what we're doing, and share this message with people that you care about. To see more of our videos, go to the description section here on YouTube. And if you'd like to talk about mentoring with me, schedule your complimentary conversation at willyougrow.com. And for now, we bid you adieu. Take excellent care of your very fine self, and we look forward to seeing you next week. Always with love, from Angelique. Okay, we did it! We did it! Woo! Woohoo!
Heck yeah. Good job.
Good job, guys.
For more information about programs offered by Will You, mentoring with Angelique, and to watch video success stories from clients, explore willyougrow.com. If you or your company are interested in inspiring our mutual audience by sponsoring this or another of our programs, let's talk about it. Boost viewer confidence and trust in your company. Call 1-833-WILL-YOU, then press extension number 6. Make sure to click the subscribe button to get reminders before upcoming shows.